Hey yogis, and welcome to your winter solstice yin class. Today we are going to celebrate the winter solstice, doing a really amazing gentle yin class. The reason that I chose yin is that it really allows us that time, that quiet time, to focus on what it is that we want to manifest for the upcoming season, the upcoming year. What do we want to release? It gives us that quiet time to ponder and think, and also to start into the manifestation phase. So make sure that you have your items from your box. That would be your crystals. And also if you have your affirmation card handy, when I'm working with an affirmation card, I always like to have it at the top of my mat, or if I'm journaling, I like to have it close by for where I can see. I allow positive energies and thoughts to freely enter my life, bringing divine wisdom and light. I want that in my head during this whole practice today. When you have opened your box, you would find some essential oils as well. And I actually have some sage diffusing, some clary sage diffusing in the diffuser. And I've covered myself with the oil in my oil ball as well. The recipe for that is really simple. It's like clary sage, lavender, bergamot, and one other clary sage. So if you wanted to replenish that ball once it was complete, you're welcome to do so. All right, so with that said, for our class today, you're going to need a block, just one, maybe two. If you don't have a block, the box that your winter solstice box came in would do just fine. And also a bolster. Remembering that if you don't have a bolster, a couple pillows always is a great substitute. You just want to make sure you're about 4 inches off the ground. So it'll allow you to gather your stuff, get all of your things on your mat, and then we'll begin. We're going to begin our time together just in easy pose. So easy pose is just as it sounds. It's a cross-legged position that your body feels easy in. If you've got tight hips like me, putting a block underneath your hips and just raising them up a bit really helps to alleviate any kind of strain or tightness. So come to your comfortable position. If you wish to hold on to any crystals that are calling to you right now would be the time. Take a big breath in and just exhale fully. Each inhale that you take, feel your lungs completely fill. And with your exhale, feel your body melt down just a little bit closer to the earth. Your focus is fully on your breath. The feeling of the air entering your lungs and then releasing again. Using this time to allow your mind to release all of those thoughts or lists or responsibilities that may be hanging around, nagging at you. And just allowing yourself this time together, fully focused and present on the mat. Inhaling fully and exhaling fully. Feel the calmness seep in. Feel the connection to yourself. Feel the space that your body takes up on your mat. And know that you are worthy of this time that you take for self-care, for self-exploration, and for self-growth. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, allow your eyes to gently open. We're going to move into our first yin posture, and that is wide-legged forward fold, also known as dragonfly in the yin world. I'm going to remove my mala, but keep it close. And coming to sit with your legs in front of you, just bringing your heels apart as much as feels comfortable here, and then just adjusting your sits bones. You can either just fold over your long, wide legs here, or you can prop your blocks up to rest your forehead, or you can bring your bolster in and just rest it along your blocks. I really like to start high, and then slowly, as gravity takes its course and plays its part, I like to then fold down a little bit further. So we'll take a big breath in here. Crown reaches for the heavens. And as you exhale, just begin to fold forward, moving your blocks to wherever your forehead lands, or just allowing your back to round. Your hands come to rest on the ground. I like to keep the palms up so that I'm not, tempted to pull myself down or move myself forward at all. And we're going to stay here for about 3 minutes or about 30 breaths. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, very slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. Gently lift your blocks and just bring your legs together. We're going to come into caterpillar, which is just forward folding over our long legs. Again, you can bring your blocks into play here and just allow your forehead to rest. You can bring your blocks and your bolster into play. For this one, I like to do it just on my own. If you're feeling like your hips are still a little bit too tight, please feel free to go ahead and bring that block underneath them. It does help to alleviate a little bit of tightness, but it also feels really good in this position to just let yourself hang and allow gravity to take its work. So we'll take a big breath in as your crown reaches, and exhale to fold over. With all this quiet time as we hold our poses, our yin poses, allowing our fascia to open so that our muscles can fully release, can fully extend, and our joints can work to their greatest potential. We're reminded that that's what the winter solstice represents for us, a breaking through of the darkness to allow us to extend to our greatest potential and to move to our greatest range of motion of life. Inhale fully. Exhale, and very slowly, with total caution of your back, just coming back up to seated. Now just bring your hands behind you and bend your knees, planting your feet, and just gently windshield wiper those hips back and forth, or those knees back and forth. And then coming to still and meeting in a tabletop position. So we're going to come into lizard's pose, or as it's known in the yin circles, dragon pose. So take a big breath in, and as you exhale, step that left foot up to the outside of the left hand. So here's where you can add in some blocks. If you feel like your hips are tight and you want a little bit more space between you and the ground, your blocks are your perfect friend here. So just remembering that you're keeping your wrists under your hips. You can stay here, or if you're feeling a little bit more open, you can come down to forearms, or you can remove your blocks completely. Stay on hands, come down to forearms, whatever is feeling good for your body. Today I'm really feeling just staying right here. If you feel like you can go a little bit further, you can always come up onto that knife edge, the outside edge of that left foot, and allow that left knee to swing out. And that'll allow you to go a little bit deeper in your pose, or just stay exactly where you are. We're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. I like this pose because you're able to gaze down at your crystals at the top of your mat and your affirmation card. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, lean back with your hips and then just allow that left foot to follow. Continue leaning back, just stretching the arms. And then coming back up into tabletop. Just realign yourself. Inhale fully, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So taking that right foot and just stepping it to the outside of the right hand. Remembering that your blocks are your friend here. Really allow those hips to sink down. You can always come up onto that knife edge or the outside edge of that foot if it feels good for you, or just staying right where you are. I allow positive energies and thoughts to freely enter my life, bringing divine wisdom and light. Take a big breath in. Exhale to start moving those hips back. And then slowly allowing that right foot to follow. We're going to bring our knees wide and our big toes to kiss as we press our hips back into child's pose. So here you can find any variation with your hands. If you'd like, you can leave them going forward. Or you can make kind of a diamond and just allow your hands to rest above where your forehead will plant. Or I like to just go palm over palm and allow my forehead to rest there. The wider your knees are, the more it's going to stretch your hip flexors. So if you've got tight hips, you might want to bring your knees in a little bit closer together. If you've got bad knees, you might want to take your bolster or your blocks and just put them between your thighs and your calves, and that'll help alleviate any pressure that your knees were feeling. Another restorative pose is just to bring your arms around the outsides of your legs. When I'm holding this pose for a long time, we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. I really like to just rest my forehead and just allow my body to connect to the earth. So really feel that connection to earth body and your body rooting down and feeling super grounded and secure during this time. We'll take 5 breaths here, 5 minutes here. Inhale fully. And on your next exhale, plant your hands. Bring yourself back up to tabletop. And then bring yourself down onto your mat. Grab one of your blocks on your way down. And then lower yourself all the way down. We're going to come into one of my favorite yin postures, and that is supported bridge. So using your block or your book or your box, or if you'd like to make this a little bit more supportive, you can always use your bolster or your pillows. We're going to take the block on whatever level you think is comfortable. I like to have it on the medium level for this. The highest level just makes it a little bit too much work for me to hold for a prolonged period of time. So bringing your feet nice and close to your sits bones and then pressing your hips up to the sky, just bringing the block to rest underneath your sacrum and moving around to find a little bit more comfort. And then once you find comfort, just relaxing your arms to the side, fully allowing your feet to come wide and your knees to knock together. Inhale fully and exhale here for 3 minutes. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, plant your feet. And if you had that block on anything but the lowest edge, turn it now to its lowest edge. Allow the tailbone to rest comfortably. We're going to come into waterfall position. So kind of checking your block placement by bringing your knees up. And then just extending your feet high. You should feel no pinching or pulling or anything like that. Inhale and exhale. This is a beautiful restorative pose for your body. Just takes all of that work off of the heart to try and bring that blood back to it. You're going to stay here for about 4 minutes. And if it becomes a little bit too much, remember that you can always slowly bring your knees into your chest and allow them to rest there too. You're going to get the same effect. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, bring your knees into your chest, moving super slow. And then gently place your feet back down on the mat. And then remove that block from underneath you. We're going to use these last couple minutes or 20 breaths to just move in any way that feels really right for your body. I'm going to move myself into a happy baby, which I always find is a nice closing posture for any kind of hip work that I've done. But you do you. I'll mind the time and let you know when we're about halfway there and when we are moving into our final pose, Savasana. So you're about halfway there. I feel like I'm going to come into a little ball and just sort of sway ever so slightly back and forth. Inhale fully. And exhale to start to release your legs down. If you have your crystals handy and you want to have them on hand during Savasana, maybe placing them on your body, now would be the time to grab them. Just lowering your body to the ground, again, becoming aware of that connection, that rooting, nourishing, stable connection. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to the reason we're practicing together. That leaning into the darkness to break through and kind of get a glimpse of the light, get a glimpse of what it is that we wish to create more abundance of in our life in this upcoming year, this upcoming season. Inhale fully and exhale to find your Savasana. Begin to become aware of your breath, the rise and the fall of your chest. Make intentional movements with your fingers and your toes, beginning to come back to your body. Inhale as your arms reach up overhead, stretching all the way from your fingertips right down your legs to your toes. And then roll over onto your right side. Destiny is that mysterious force or energy that magically intertwines the choice of free will and fate. Let all those elements weave together and create your life. But know you can help to create it too by falling in love with your own life. Love all the places you have gone and all the places you will go. Love the lessons you have learned and the way that you have learned them. Most of all, love where you are right now, because that is where your destiny lies. I allow positive energies and thoughts to freely enter my life, bringing devised wisdom, slowly press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Inhale as your arms rise high, collecting up all that amazing energy that we've just produced together. And exhaling down through heart center. The divine light in me honors and respects the divine light within you. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for practicing here with me today in honor of the winter solstice. I really hope that now you will partake in your bath ritual, stirring your water, saying your intention, setting your mantra, and really taking the time to focus on you, your destiny, your breaking through the darkness to see the light. Namaste, yogis.